What's going on YouTube? Adrian here bringing y'all another video. So with this one we're going to be talking about camera settings when it comes to using off-camera flash. So I know a lot of people want to get into flash but they don't know how to figure out their settings. So I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step process on what I'm doing when I'm using off-camera flash to figure out my settings. Alright, so the first setting I'm usually adjusting when it comes to using flash is my shutter speed. So with my shutter speed I am controlling the ambient light. So ambient light is the light available within your scene. Depending on what type of shot I'm trying to get, I'm adjusting my shutter speed to get that specific look. So you always have to keep in mind what type of look are you going for. So let's say you're going for more of a moodier vibe and you want a really underexposed background or ambient light, then I'm going to raise my shutter speed. So I may shoot at like 1/8000th of a second. It just depends on what type of shots you're going for. With my ambient exposure, I'm usually taking this down to be darker than my subject. So that's just the look I'm going for when I'm shooting with flash photography, because I feel like it really makes your subject stand out. And that's the point that I'm trying to get with my images, is to draw you in to the subject and for my subject to be the brightest part of the photo. Now I usually do this for most of my photos, but I don't do it for all of them. Like I said, it depends on what type of shot I'm trying to create. So something to always keep in mind with your shutter speed is if you go above your camera's max sync speed, which is 1/200th of a second with Sony, that you're going to lose flash power. All right, so the second thing I adjust is my aperture, and with this you're controlling the exposure of the flash. So if you want more light, then you need to open up your aperture, maybe, you know, go to 1.8 or f2, and if you want less light, then you would raise your aperture to like a f7 or f8 and something like that. So the third setting is your ISO. So with this, it's going to change your flash exposure and your ambient equally. So with my ISO, I never really raise it high unless I'm shooting in a low light situations like weddings and receptions. I'll usually raise that ISO to around 2000 or 3000, sometimes even 4000. So I don't have to raise my flash power too high, because if I raise that too high, then my flash can overheat and start to misfire and stuff like that. So other than that, if I'm just shooting like portraits, then my ISO is always low, because I don't want to, you know, add noise and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't really need it. I just adjust my shutter speed and my aperture, and then if I'm trying to balance that light out, then maybe I'll raise my ISO. But if I don't need it, then for the most part it's always low. That's my step-by-step process on how I figure out my settings when I'm using flash. If you're getting into flash photography, or maybe you just want to learn more about it, I actually have a series on my channel. I have lots of helpful videos when it comes to flash photography. I break everything down so you can learn how to shoot off-camera flash. So I'm going to link that in the card up top if you want to check out that series. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel and helps this video get seen by more people. Subscribe to the channel. I post new videos every week talking about photography, off-camera flash, and the business side of photography. So if you're interested in that type of content, be sure to subscribe. I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.